Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to our boy, how about Shemel Shai, Bashem Makakarash, Kal Halame, how about Shemel Shai, Bashem Makakarash. That's in ancient Hebrew, saying all praise to Yahweh, in the name of Shai, in the name of Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world in you call Jehovah, God or Yahweh. His son's true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, who the world in you call Jesus Christ. True name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers and all who are pushing sword in sincerity and in truth, to all that believe in this gospel. Shalom. Brother Zach from Camp James, Jamaica, and this lesson, I'm not sure exactly what I want to title it, but one chiming on the whole idea of race, and nobody's black and nobody's white, It's really have to do with nationalities or races, where we came from, people we came from. Because today, people will go by, oh, I'm black, so he's a so-called black man, or them say he's a black man, black race or white race. It's all social construct created by the so-called white man, yeah? So I'm going to start off with Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5 says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee, lover, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all thy getting, get understanding. And we even go on and say, hey, we are Hebrew Israelites. We are no black Hebrew Israelites. Because again, when I look up the word black, I'm going to go to Merriam-Webster Dictionary offline. Black, it says having very dark color of the night sky or the eyes pupil. Yeah, the color black. It says usually black of relating to any of the various population groups, especially African ancestry, often considered as having dark pigmentation of the skin, but in fact having a wide range of skin colors. And they say black people, African American. But I'm going to show you something real quick. The screen is white. That's black. No one looks so. And the screen is white there, and you see black and white. I can even type and HITE. This is better. The one that looks so. Where shades are brown, shades are red. So-called white man a shade of red. We are basically the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, most Latinos, other people in the world are shades of dark brown, basically are brown, right? But them also black. Now, to show you that in the ancient world, people never ever, look upon color to define them race. We're going to go to precept. We've always been going to Numbers 1 and 8. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families, or the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. And we know pedigrees go back to your lineage, basically. Pedigrees, let's get it. Yellow from the Hebrew. It says to bear, bring forth, begot, gender. Travail, to bear, bring forth, child. can see we can Google it as well. Pedigree meaning. It says pedigree Google. From Google search, it says the record of descent of an animal showing it to be purebred. Says the recorded ancestry or lineage of a person or family. So them did that by the house of their fathers, not by their skin color. That was never a thing that was ever done. That was done by the so-called white man, right? And Scripture says this about the so-called white man. Get this verse and then we get that information. Job 14. Or 13 and 5. 13 and 4 says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. The white man been lying ye, from in company seen, all him been pushing his lies. Psalms 58 and 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. And what I was really thinking on, is for example, with the whole idea with Nolan Lyles or something like that, Wiles, with him, learning that he don't have so-called white friends. And I was thinking on brothers, that's in the truth, and me so-called look white, and then we have bring out the information that the so-called white man is the devil, right? But once you have knowledge, say, hey, you're not known for the way you look. You see me? This is a book from Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. Right? Because it can be so-called black or star, and you actually to be a Edomite. So I'm on page 20, down to the last paragraph. It says the Asian people did not classify races according to skin color, like the modern nations of Europe and America. The Asians, including the Greeks and Romans, identified people according to their national or tribal names. They used such names as Visigoths, Vandals, Saxons, Ethiopians, Carthaginians, Jews, Arabs, Persians, Babylonians, Egyptians. It says, and Moors. They did not use the term Negro, which is a modern term, to refer to the black races, or the word Caucasian to refer to the white races. Dividing the world along the color line was an idea that originated with the white supremacists in Europe after the Renaissance. And they go in and tell the little monkey would do it. It says, during the Middle Ages, the black nations, so-called kind of black, of Africa and Asia had the greatest political, economical, educational, and military influence in the world. At this time, Europe existed in a state of darkness for 1,000 years, the Dark Ages. It says in the 17th century and later, Europe began to emerge out. It says began to emerge out of the slough of ignorance, and certain Germans and others conceived of themselves as belonging to a superior race. John F. Blumenbach, a German, 1752 to 1840, was the first to divide humanity on the basis of skin color. Up to this time, no such attempts had been made. His classification set up a color line to the detriment of later generations. Mr. Blumenbach classified 5 chief races of mankind: the Caucasian, the Mongolians, the Ethiopians, the American Indians, that is, the Malaysian. Moreover, he considered the Caucasian to be the original race. Blumenbach, the anthropologist, named the whites after the Caucasus Mountains. These mountains are situated between the Black and Caspian Sea, because he thought the purest white people originated there, which is bullshit. As I said, Blumenbach was a racist, and so was J.A. Gobineau, if I pronounce the name right, one like wrong. It says third man by the name of H.S. Chamberlain wanted to advance the supremacy of the white Nordic race and its culture. So that's where that whole idea come from, of dividing race in according to skin color. That was never ever ever a thing. No one did it in the past. So today, right, when you identify a race, you go back to the table of nations, Genesis. You see me, and without that, then it's just because you look white or look so-called white, or look so-called black, that doesn't determine a nationality. And that's was something I just wanted to chime in on. But there's a different like out there. So when we say so-called white man, that's the reason why, because he's not white. You see me? And so-called black people, we use the word so-called because nobody is black, nobody is white. It's just a social construct set up by the so-called white man. So give it all praise to our poet, Hobo Shemel Shai, Bosham Kakarash, the one restored as an apostles of great millstone. Shalom to the full life. Shalom.